Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Acuna. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks Lads. Joined with my guy, Mr. Big Ball.
Sir.
Live and direct Memorial Weekend, Ben. So you only got work tomorrow, which I know you're fucking stoked about.
Oh, as always. As always. These short weeks are hard as fuck, though. So it's a good news, bad news.
Yeah,
I still haven't caught up from being out for a week, so
yeah,
it is what it is.
But Weekend Warrior continues
direct
for another day.
Exactly. Yeah. Live and direct on a holiday, and that's what matters.
Yes, sir. We are being brought to you by the Sharps app, SHARPZ. Make sure to download it. Use promo code JORD517. It's free to download, free to use. Track your bets. Become a better Sharps app. With that being said, obviously Sunday night, we got a lot of day baseball games tomorrow with Memorial Day weekend. We got Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals for NHL tomorrow. We have Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals of NBA. We just wrapped up Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals in NHL, Western Conference Finals of NBA, which we're going to talk about. And then we got a lot of baseball news, and for once, we got baseball news that dropped, or we got news in general that dropped literally right before the show started, which it usually happens on Monday. So we're going to get into all that and talk about the implications of what may come from it. So I'm stoked to be here, stoked for tonight's show. Let's start it off with the NBA, since that's the last game we just watched. The Western Conference Finals, Game 3. Dallas took the first two in Minnesota, come back home. And by the way, they only won the first two games combined by a total of 3 points. They come back home, 1.5 point, they opened 2.5 point favorites, got bet down to like 1.5 at some spots. And then Dallas ends up winning. They win by 9. I think the final score was 9. Was it 9 or 11? It was 9.
It was 9.
216 to 107.
116 to 107, yeah, 9.
I know that total like off the top of my head because I was watching the all game. 116, 107. Dallas was pretty much in control the entire first half, and then pretty much halfway through the third quarter, and Ant Edwards made an incredible dunk, and Minnesota started making a rally, but ultimately Dallas just pulled away at the end, and Minnesota couldn't score for like 4 minutes and just hit a drought in a game where like nobody could get a stop, which was really the difference. I tweeted out too. I tweeted out in the second quarter, I was like, the team that gets the most stops is going to end up winning this fucking game, which I guess is like obvious, but but no, at the point, like nobody was getting stops. But so now you're down 3-0 if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves. A series that pretty much everybody wrote the Mavericks off, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
However, Derek Lively did leave the game today in the second quarter with a neck injury. We don't know the status of him. According to Daniel Gafford, who was on TNT afterwards, he said that he thinks Derek Lively's going to be okay. Obviously, he's not a doctor. But what's your thoughts on how the series is kind of played out and how this looks going forward?
I mean, it's very surprising. I did not envision this being at 3-0, and I'm kind of wondering where this is going to go from here. Are we going to see a Minnesota team that just basically says, we're down 3-0, there's no chance of winning this, we're done, and we're going to get a sweep here? Or are they going to come out and fight and get a game, maybe two, maybe just a game, and take it to 5? I think the experience of Dallas is what has been driving them so far. And to be honest, I'm kind of thinking that that's going to really push them to probably get a sweep here. I think the inexperience will probably take them down that road of being like, we're down 3-0, we're out of it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think the hardest thing to do is to win on the road.
yeah.
Minnesota has shown that they could win on the road in these playoffs, though. So I mean, it's not out of the realm of expectation that they can win in Game 3. But I mean, overcoming a 3-0 deficit and, like you said, a team that really has very little playoff experience, I do agree. Although on the flip side, like it's not like the Mavericks have a ton of playoff experience. I mean, really, the only guys on that team that have playoff experience is Luka and Kyrie. You know, obviously Kyrie's prone to the moment. He's in our intro when he hits a dagger 3 over Clay. So, you know, he's been there. He's done that. He's won a championship. He knows what it takes to do that and win a championship. And, you know, Luka had a quote in his press conference today where, you know, in the fourth quarter, they're in a timeout and he says, "Man, I'm fucking tired." And Kyrie's like, "Good. That's how it should be."
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's the kind of leadership in this whole playoff run. I've kind of seen like a different Kyrie come out, dude. And like, it's a Kyrie that I love, dude. Like, he's so happy. He's enjoying the moment. He's enjoying being here. And I think it's because he was so young when he was with the 2016 Cavs when they won the title, right? So he took it all for granted, and he asked for a trade out from the Cavs because he wanted to be the guy, right?
Yeah.
But then he realized, like, being the guy sucks.
Yeah.
You know, now you know what I mean? Like, he was a villain and shit, and like, and now he's like in this happy place, dude. And him and Luka are just, and I mentioned it last Sunday, bro. I was like, everybody's counting out the Mavs, but like, they got two guys that if the game's close, they're gonna win the game because you can't guard them. You cannot guard those
both,
two. Yeah, like it's difficult. It's impossible.
Yeah,
and we've seen it play out in the games 1 and 2. Ben, like, they won those games combined by 3 points. They won those games because of those two guys.
Yep. Yeah, Luka's big 3 at the end of game 2, and Kyrie
balled out
magic in the fourth quarter in game 1. Yeah,
and now in game 3, I know they won by 9, but Luka and Kyrie combined for like 26-7 points in the fourth quarter. Like, they took it over. And it was a tie game going into the fourth quarter. And they absolutely took it over. So, you know, I'm looking at it now and I'm like, the Mavs don't stand a chance, dude. Like, this series is over.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's a sweep. If it was in Minnesota, I would be like, okay, like, I'll give Minnesota a chance. I'll give them a chance to win game 4, and then they'll probably lose it in 5. But if you're the Mavs, dude, you're like, bro, we got game 4 on our home court. Like, the last thing we want to do is lose this game and have to go back to Minnesota and give them momentum, right?
Yep, and extend the series.
Extend the series. Like, let's get this shit over with and let's fucking get some rest, because the finals, regardless, don't start until June 6th. So, regardless of the outcome, it doesn't start till June 6th.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if both teams sweep. We're waiting until June 6th.
Yeah. Which I guess you could throw your conspiracy theory hat on and be like, okay, the NBA definitely don't want that. So they're going to try to extend these series. Yeah. Now, like, talking about the Boston series tomorrow, I would give Indiana more of a chance of winning the game there because they're at home. And they've only lost one home game all playoff, which was last game.
Yeah.
But you also look at it the other way. It's like, bro, they had 2 games that they should have won and they lost both of them, which was game 1 and game 3. So now it's like, what's the mental psyche of that team? And we don't even know if Halliburton's going to play.
I was just going to ask you, have we heard any update on that?
They said unlikely that he was going to play. They said that on Saturday that he was unlikely going to play on Monday. So we don't know.
7 hours ago, Halliburton is questionable for game 4.
Yeah, he's going to be questionable up until like tip off.
Okay.
So I wouldn't put any like hard evidence in that. But I think both these series are over. I think both teams get rested heading into the finals, and I think it's a great finals, dude. And there's a lot of storylines. You know, obviously Kyrie played 2 years in Boston.
Yeah, but does the week in between, does that kill the momentum of the NBA that they have right now?
No. I mean, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it's like you want the 2 best teams in there, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen this before. I mean, the Cavs fucking swept before, and the Warriors swept, and they had to wait a week. And I mean, it stinks for the league in terms of, like, they're losing revenue for the stadiums and shit, but they're not losing revenue on TV because that TV money is already paid for regardless.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I just like, does this, like, do we, the casual fans, are they going to be like, oh, I don't want to wait a week to?
Nah, casual
Fucking
fans
watch
are going
this.
to tune into the finals regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's the finals. Like, you're going to get more viewers in the finals than you are going to get in the Western and Eastern Conference finals.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be good finals, though. A lot of storylines, man. Kyrie going back to Boston. I so bad. I need the Mavs to win this series. I need the Mavs to win the finals in Boston, just to piss off all those racist motherfuckers in Boston that shit on Kyrie for years, bro. Like, it would be devastation to that shitty fucking city. And sorry if you're from Boston, dude. I got no love lost for Boston, dude. I think I got no love lost. If you know me, you know why. If you don't know me, you can find me on Twitter at Jordan Rules TSP. You can ask me why I don't like Boston. I will talk about it. Irv and I we're pretty vocal about our hatred for that city, so they can kiss my fucking ass. And I think it would be awesome if Kyrie beat the Celtics, bro. I think it would be beautiful. Yeah. But that doesn't mean I like hate on Boston. Like, I bet Boston basically every game in the playoffs because it's a good basketball team, bro. It really is. You know, at the end of the day, it's just how do you defend Kyrie and Luka, dude?
Yep. Yeah, that's very difficult to do.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can. I don't. Yeah. Someone was talking to me today, and they were like, "Well, you know, Boston probably has the best, you know, situation for it." And I was like, "Yeah, but Boston beats themselves all the time, dude. Like, they just like." They take themselves out of games often, and it don't matter how good you are defensively, bro. Like, Luka's cooking Jaden McDaniels, who's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Like, don't matter how good you are defensively. Like, those two they're just so good.
Yeah,
you can't defend it.
Yeah, and Boston could very well be the best to defend it, but at the end of the day, you got to do it.
You got to do it. Yeah, you got.
And that's the difficult part and nobody has yet.
Nope. Before we move on to NHL, I did want to bring up Grayson Murray, PGA golfer.
Yeah, fucking horrible.
Yeah, so, I mean, just absolutely insane. And obviously his parents came out and said that he died of suicide, and it's so devastating. But, I mean, it was crazy because, like, he was playing, and he withdrew on Friday, and then Saturday morning we get the news that they found him dead.
Yep.
And, like, he withdrew citing an illness, so everyone was like, well, is he okay? Like, we don't know. And obviously we know the history of him battling mental illness and addiction and stuff like that. So, you know, we were all, as fans, like, we were kind of just like, you know, like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy, bro. And then it comes out today that he did take his own life, and it's just, it's hella sad, man. Like, life is precious, and you never know what your friends are going through, man. Like, always checking on them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you have someone who's a professional golfer who, you know, doing what he does, doing what he loves every day, and you wouldn't think that someone who's in that situation is battling as hard as he was. And that, I think, is just like the shocking bit to it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at his story, and, like, he was once, like, the best junior in the world, and he was so highly touted and he was basically supposed to be he was supposed to be Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
You know, and he was very honest about it. You know, he said that he partied a lot because, you know, he could just party and wake up and
he thought he was invincible.
Yeah. And, you know, he battled addiction, and, you know, you just never know what people are going through, dude. Like, you could be the most, you know, I don't know, like, happiest, you look like the happiest person, but deep down, like that person could be battling like some crazy shit, bro. Like you just don't know.
Yep.
And a lot of times people, and especially men, you know, because I find myself the same way. Like, you know, if me and you are talking and you're like, oh yeah, everything's great. Like, I'm not going to be like, you know, I'm not going to, I'm gonna wait for you to reach out to me, right? Rather than being like, Ben, is everything cool? Like, are you good? You know, like I think as men, it's even more difficult because like it's always been looked down upon in society, right? So like we have these walls we put up to make ourselves look like we're, you know, strong and, you know, doing better than we may actually be doing, because that's just how we were raised. You know, it's how that's how we've always been taught. So
How society has, what society has placed on us as men.
yeah, and I think generations after us are a little different. I think we're probably the last generation that's probably like that. You know, like my grandparents didn't believe in fucking psychiatrists and shit, dude. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
you know?
I think our generation is that turning point.
Yeah,
Our generation is that one where we're now allowing ourselves to go talk through our emotions, go see a therapist, a psychiatrist, and are making it okay to show emotions. Before us, our parents' age, you know, I fully open. I was going to a therapist for almost 3 years, and it was one of the best decisions of my life. But you know, I tell my father to like, oh, maybe you'd, you know, benefit from going see the therapist, and he's like, no, I'm not crazy. I'm like, well, yeah, neither was I.
yeah,
But you're able to compartmentalize and organize your mind to open that space up to really just be a much freer person. And I mean, fuck, I'm a completely different person than I was, and in a much better headspace than, you know, I previously had. I'm so grateful for that time, and it's something that a lot of people need, and I'm sure, you know, Grayson could have used that.
yeah. If I
You
mean,
know,
even if
but
he, I mean, we don't know if he
he
did or
probably did.
yeah, we don't know. I mean, that's the crazy thing is like no one knows what the fuck happened, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just he left the golf course. He's like, I don't feel well, and then took his life that night. And
Yep.
it's just dead. Like, I feel so bad for his parents.
Mhm.
Feel so bad for
And
his.
you wonder, okay, sorry.
I just feel bad for his friends, his family. Like,
Yep. Yeah, you had a brother and a sister.
I can't even imagine a fiance.
Yeah. And you wonder, I was reading he was sober for just under a year.
Yeah,
And you wonder if he turned to the bottle and that's what caused him to make that rash decision.
could very well be.
You never know.
Could very well be. I mean, I'm sure we'll learn more, but I just wanted to give some time and talk about that, and you know,
So sad.
give our condolences, and you know, if anyone is going through shit, reach out to your friends, and if you as people, as men and women, and if some women are listening, but men especially, reach out to your friends and, you know, make sure that they are in a good headspace and that they're doing well, because, you know, you could reach out to someone and that could change their entire life, dude.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You just never fucking know.
Yep.
You just never know. So, whew, let's get out of that dark space. Let's move on to NHL.
Yep.
Today we had Panthers Rangers. Rangers took a 4-2 lead into the third period. Then, the Panthers tied it 4-4, and it went to overtime. And the Rangers won. And I have to ask, dude, like at some point the shit got to end, bro. Like the Rangers get outshot, outplayed every fucking game, and somehow they fucking win, dude. Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. That's the playoffs, though. That's the ride that they're on, and it is going to end at some point. But is it going to end during the finals? Is it going to end during the Eastern Conference Finals? I mean, they were.
I still think the Panthers win this series.
I do as well.
I'm probably gonna bet it now because we can actually get a good number on it.
Yeah,
Because bro,
yeah, because the Rangers are up.
Yeah, every game, like every game of the playoffs. I'm not talking about just this series, dude. The Rangers get outshot, outplayed. You know, the first series they just happened to get way more power plays, right? And it's just like at this point, it's just getting, it's honestly comical, dude. It's just like this team, it just can't continue, bro.
Yeah, yeah. The big thing, and looking at these numbers for today is the block shots 37-14 in favor of the Rangers. I mean, I know that that's a big aspect of them being on the power play. Florida being on the power play for so much longer than New York, but man, they are putting their lives on the line out there by blocking shots, and they almost tripled shot blockings.
Yeah, but it's
crazy number.
It's gotta end.
But yeah, it definitely will. Shesterkin playing.
Well, I mean, he hasn't even been that good in the last few games, bro. He gave up 3 goals or more the last 3 games against the Carolina Panthers. He gave up 4 today. You know what I mean? Like, he was standing on his head the first, round and a half. But honestly, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to, like, figure out how the Rangers are doing this because you watch these games, they're getting outplayed by every team. They got out. I mean, I feel like the Panthers should be up 3-0 in this series.
Yeah.
The way this game, the way the games have played out.
Bobrovsky did not have a day. 783 save percentage. Only 18 saves on 23 shots.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
5 goals on.
He wasn't great today.
Which is not the Bobrovsky we've seen.
Yeah. It's not the guy we're used to.
Yeah. About 5 minutes into overtime. These overtime goals are coming quick.
Yep. What's your thoughts of the Oilers Star Series 1-1? Goes back to Edmonton.
We talked about this. This is going to be a long fucking series, and I think this is one that's going to go to 7. But we saw last night that it's the start of the oil spill. So,
this guy.
No, but I mean, it's going to be a hell of a series. I mean, they balance each other out so well, with the Stars being more of a defensive team, the Oilers being more of an offensive team. And, the question is going to be can Dallas stay out of the box enough to win these games? And can Edmonton's defense stand up enough to not let Dallas take things away? Because it's going to be hard for Dallas to take things away. But
the thing is, though, is Edmonton's defense has been so good, Ben.
Edmonton's defense has been better. Definitely has been better. Better than previous years. Still a little skeptical of Skinner. He is playing well, but are those past holes going to show up? And so far, no. He's been playing great.
He's been playing really good. The defense has been really good.
Yep. But the Stars have to stay out of the box. And the Oilers, man, they got to take any opportunity that they can, because Dallas kept them to 1 goal in game 2. And so far, unders on each game. I'm telling you, this is going to be a low scoring. Both series are going to be low scoring series.
Except for the 5-4 game today.
Except for the 5-4 game, yeah.
I mean, I was shocked at that score, dude. Because I would expect that series to be more low scoring than I would the Edmonton series.
Yeah.
And the Edmonton series is just flying under. The other series, not so
it's
much.
Crazy. The team stats, Dallas actually is scoring more goals per game than Edmonton. It's fucking close. Dallas is 3.59 versus Edmonton's 3.58. And goals against, 2.83 to 2.88. Like these two teams are
Yeah, they've been good. I mean,
neck and neck.
So I'm saying Edmonton's been a lot better defensively in these playoffs, man. And Wayne Gretzky pointed out the other night, he was like, their forecheck has just been so good and so dominant. Like he's just like, I don't know how the Stars are going to overcome it.
They got to stay out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way they win this series.
Got to stay out of the box.
Yep, you can't give Edmonton power play opportunities because that's how they're going to win this series.
Yep.
Like special teams is the great decider in this one.
Yep, agreed. All right, let's talk some Major League Baseball.
Rough news today.
Yeah, rough news for those living under a rock. Ronald Acuna Jr. He left the game today with a non-contact knee injury. Come to find out about an hour and a half ago that he tore his ACL. He will be out for the year. And a lot of people are pointing out, like, oh yeah, last time he was out for the year, they won the World Series. Doing that twice is a little difficult with a player of that caliber.
Yep.
So I don't know how that's going to play out, but I think it's a huge blow for the Braves. And it gets to a point where the Phillies are already 6 games up in the NL East right now, and I know the Braves have a pretty good jump on the wild card. They're 5 games up, but they don't have Spencer Strider any longer, and their teams look pretty suspect in the last month.
Yep.
I mean, they're 4-6 in their last 10. They have been struggling a little bit, Ben. So I'm really curious as to like what this team's gonna look like and what's gonna happen come July with the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting whether they're going to be. I mean, this next month it's going to be a tell-all of whether they're going to be buyers or not at the deadline, because they very well can drop even out of the wild card picture at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they have a 5-game push cushion, it's very easy to lose games and lose games quick, especially when you're playing division games and teams that they have right behind them. I think the good thing is through the next 2 weeks, you've got 8 games against Washington. You've got 3 games against Oakland.
That Washington team is not to be slept on, though.
That's very true. I was kind of bummed to see that James Wood isn't getting the call up. He was just minor injury.
Yeah, he's getting called up soon, though.
He will get called up soon. But, I think at least at this point, they have a decent kind of set in their schedule where they're playing 8 against Washington. I think you can, probably look at that kind of split area in those 8. You've got 3 games against Oakland. You've got 3 games against Tampa, who have both been really struggling. But then things are going to get a little bit more difficult. You've got Baltimore. You've got New York, you've got Detroit, you've got St. Louis, who's starting to kind of step up a little bit. Yep. San Francisco, Philadelphia, Arizona, and San Diego to end the first half of the season. And that is going to be the difficult part. When is the trade deadline?
End of July.
Okay, so I think that's where we're really going to see what this team does, because that's a nasty 2-week stretch there, starting from July 2nd, when you're going against San Francisco at home, which is the nice thing. And then Philly comes in. There's another 3-game series that's going to be very tough. Arizona, who we don't know what Arizona team is going to be there at that point, but they've got a 4-game series in Arizona and then a 3-game series in San Diego.
Yeah.
To end the first half of the year. And I think that's where we're going to see what this Atlanta team does when they get through the home stretch there, because that's a nasty NL lineup right there. And 3 games in Pittsburgh before San Francisco. We don't know where Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh going to be that first couple week team, or is Pittsburgh going to be?
I mean, they're playing a lot better ball right now.
They are.
That's
they have
for sure.
kind of turned that corner. So
they're only 2 games out of the wild card, and that's the thing is, like, we talked about this the other day. Is like a lot of these teams are so grouped together, like you really can't count anybody out in the NL of the wild card except for maybe the Marlins and Rockies, but I mean they're only 8 games out. It could take 1 week of good ball for them to get back into it, and the you know what I mean. So with that being said, like I just think the problem with the Braves is like they're built to win now, to the point where like it doesn't benefit them at all to like try and sell. Like if I'm the Braves right now, I'm on the phone and I'm like,
who can I get in here now?
Yeah, like who can I get now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I need someone right now. Like let's get some guys in here because I'm paying exorbitant amount of salaries, dude. Like I'm not gonna be able to trade them all and offset my books. So my best bet is to try and win, regardless of whether I have Acuna or not. And yes, it's a huge loss, and can we do it? I don't know, but I'm gonna do what I can to get guys in here to perform now. And last time it was the addition of Jorge Soler. Can they find another Jorge Soler? I don't know. That's to be determined, but I don't think they're gonna be sellers per se. Maybe we get to July and they're like way the fuck out of it. I don't think they will be. I think they'll be in the hunt of the wild card at least. So I think they're gonna be buyers regardless. And their bullpen's still, top 5 bullpen in baseball. Their starting rotation's been a little, up and down, a little inconsistent. It's been whatever. Reynaldo Lopez has been really good. But like I just don't see them selling, Ben. I just don't see them absolutely being sellers. Like, we're gonna trade everybody. Like I don't see it. I don't.
I'm trying to look at their prospect list.
Well, their farm's definitely not what it was at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know AJ Smith-Shawver is one of their better prospects. He's up pitching now in the major leagues. He won the game against the Cubs the other day. But I don't know. I think the Braves will be. I'm not saying they're going to be all right, but I do think that they're going to be. I don't think that they're going to just mail in the season and just be like, okay, like, and not to say that, they won the World Series without Acuna before they could do it again. Like, I don't think that's really a realistic thing. I think that was a one-off. So I don't expect it, and I don't think they should either. But it is next man up mentality, you know what I mean? Yeah, their prospects suck, dude.
Yeah, it's a bunch of pitchers.
And they're all in, like, single and double A. Like, none of them are in triple A yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fooped.
What is SIRP?
What does that say?
For position, starting or relief pitcher, maybe.
Who is that?
Like Roderick Munoz or Victor Vodnik.
I don't even see those motherfuckers on here.
I'm looking at last year's top prospect list because I didn't see anything on there. This year's Brooks Wilson or Blake Burkhalter.
Their top prospects this year is AJ Smith-Shawver, who's up in the major leagues, Hurston Waldrop, Spencer Schwaldenbach, J.R. Ritchie, Owen Murphy, Nacho Alvarez, Jose Perdomo, Cade Cooler. But I mean, none of these dudes are even past double A.
Yeah.
Like they're all in fucking single double A. None of them are in triple A. Not a single top 10 prospect of theirs is in triple A yet.
Yep. They're fucked, dude.
They're not getting help from within their system.
No, and that's kind of where I was coming to them too, is that it's going to be hard to trade because you don't have a lot of.
I mean, you can still trade prospects. I mean, I'm not saying they have shitty prospects. I'm just saying none of them are like AAA or they're not major league ready. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And some teams that are a couple years out, they'll be willing to trade if they have, if they have a team that's a couple years out, they'll be like, okay, we'll take your best prospects if they're double AAA, or double A, single A. Like you never know, but none of their prospects are in AAA, which does hurt.
Yeah, Dylan Dodd is there only.
That shit does hurt. Yeah. Speaking of prospects, we need to talk about prospects in the terms of the fucking Baltimore Orioles. Because this team, brother. Ben, this team,
Brother.
this fucking team, bro. Mike Elias might go down as like the worst prospect manager of all time because the Orioles continue to trot out fucking Mullins and Hayes when they got Kerstad and they even called up Stowers, who was, he hit very well the couple days he was playing, and obviously they got Kobe Mayo and Norby and all these top prospects, right?
Yeah.
And he like continues to trot out these Jags that had a couple of good years, and he doesn't want to call up top prospects, and he doesn't want to trade his prospects, or their prospects, I should say. And now the Orioles are in an interesting situation because, I mean, yeah, they're still in second place. They're the number one wild card. They're 6-4 in their last 10. I know but I mean, they just won 4 against the fucking White Sox. So let's keep it a buck here real quick. Like, they just beat the worst team in baseball. Like, this team hasn't been playing good. Their bullpen, which was once one of the best in baseball, is 11th this year. Obviously, I know that they are missing Felix Bautista. I know he's not going to come back. Their starting rotation is in shambles. John Means just hit the IL again. So he's out. Grayson Rodriguez just came back from injury. And then they also sent Dean Kramer to the IL.
Yeah.
Instead of calling up their top pitching prospect in Cade Povich, they called up Heasley, who almost blew a fucking 6-run lead in his first appearance.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, like, this team is now, 2 years ago we were like, okay, the Orioles, they're playing with house money. Like, they're not expected to do anything. I get not calling up your guys, like, let them work. But it's like, okay, now we're in year 2, and you got Hessen Kerstad and Mayo, Kobe Mayo, and all these guys in AAA. Once again, like, this is our second year of AAA. They're ranking AAA.
Mm-hmm.
And you do call them up, and then you don't even fucking play them because you want to trot out fucking Austin Hayes to go out there and pop up every fucking at-bat. Or you want to go out there and trot out, Cedric Mullins, who had a career year in 2021, but he's never duplicated that shit since. And I'm sitting here like, bro, like, this is a team that's ready to win and is built for the future, and like you're refusing to do both.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about the Dodgers having a such a mid and low quality second half of their lineup.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that same thing in Baltimore.
Yep.
It was looking at the game, the numbers for today's game, and looking at that second half, it was just like it's kind of embarrassing.
It's every day though. It's every day, bro. Even Santander and Mountcastle, like, they're not. Like, they had good years, bro, but like they aren't who.
Mountcastle is having a better year than.
But he's still like
than last year, at least.
He's still yeah, but you gotta remember the first half of the year last year he had vertigo, so.
Okay.
I
mean, Mountcastle's what? He's hitting 271 with a 309 OBP, 459 slugging. 768. So I mean, it's still good. 1.1 more.
He rakes lefties, but he struggles against right-handed pitching. And then you got Santander, who like can't hit a fastball to save his fucking life.
Yeah.
And then you got Ryan O'Hearn, who had like career year last year, and like he's regressed, which I mean was to be expected. Nobody expected him to continue batting fucking 310 and shit.
And he's still batting 276 though. It's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not what he was last year.
Yeah.
And then you got Mullins, who like literally is a fucking automatic out. And you got Austin Hayes, who's an automatic out. Like, those two guys in the lineup are just cogs.
Urias
is fucking trash. Mateo.
Yeah.
Mateo is very Jekyll and Hyde. And I don't know, like, if it was my call, and obviously it's not, but I would call up dudes like Hessen Kerstad, and I would call up Kobe Mayo, and I would let them play every fucking day, dude.
And that's the big thing, is that they have to let him play. You can't just call up Kerstad and give him 14 in bats in 7 games.
You can't, dude.
You have to let them play and get into a groove, get into the
And
professional or not. I mean, they're playing professional ball, but the
every day.
MLB level ball.
Yeah, you got to let them play every day, bro. You don't know who you have if you barely put them out there. Bro, one of the pinch hits they gave him was against Mason Miller, bro. Like, bro's throwing 103, dude. Nobody's going out there and fucking hitting that, especially if you haven't swung a bat all game, bro. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
I just think it's terrible mismanagement of the prospects, and I get it to an extent, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like, you're trying to win, and you're trying to win now.
Yeah, it might hurt you now, but in the long term for this season, it's gonna be good to get these guys in.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Jackson Holiday struggle than fucking watch Jose Urias struggle, dude. You know, because Urias he's not gonna be on this team much longer.
Or Mateo.
Yeah. Or Mullins or Hayes. Like, they're not gonna be on this team much longer. Neither is Santander probably.
Yeah.
You know, and if Kerstad and Mayo and these guys aren't in your future, then trade them for guys that can help you win right now.
Right now.
Because you got guys on your team right now that aren't helping you win.
Yep.
And don't let this 4-game sweep of the White Sox fool you, bro. Like, you played the fucking White Sox.
Yeah.
The worst team in fucking Major League Baseball.
By far.
Jesus fucking Christ. This team,
I can't wait. Speaking of White Sox, I can't wait to see where Lubob goes.
Well, he's hurt.
I know, yeah, but he's coming back next week.
He's got to get healthy.
Yeah.
That'd be a huge fucking addition for some teams for sure. For sure. What else I want to talk about baseball? Oh my God. Kansas City Royals and the fucking Cleveland Guardians. Kansas City Royals won 8 in a row. They just lost today, so they're 8-1. They're 8-2 in their last 10. And then they lost a game on the Guardians because Guardians are 9-0 in their last 9.
Yeah, which is insane.
I mean, can you imagine winning 8 straight and you don't even gain a fucking game on the first place team, dude? That's got to be so deflating, bro.
Yep.
However, I will say this about the Guardians. The Guardians are playing phenomenal baseball. But there's some major regression coming, especially with their bullpen, because their bullpen is pitched way more innings than any other bullpen. And they're like, Klossey's arm's going to fall off by fucking August, dude. Like, I'm not excited for this Guardians team. They're playing very well right now, dude. I will give them that. And will they win division? Maybe. They're 36-17. I just, like, I don't know if it's sustainable at all, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I mean, the Central is absolutely crazy right now. The two teams that I mean, again, we've got some injuries here, but the two teams that we thought were going to be at the top are not. You've got the Tigers 10 games back and the Twins 7.5, which is going to be hard to kind of drill yourself out even to get a playoff spot with the way that the American League East and
the Tigers are fucked, dude. They're done.
Oh yeah, but getting a wild card spot could be tough.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing the Tigers have going for them is they have good pitching.
Yeah,
you know, and then the Twins, you know, they're getting Royce Lewis back in the next week or so, and that's going to be a huge boost for them. But I mean, you look at the Twins and, like, your ace and Pablo Lopez has been fucking trash. You know, he got shelled for, I think, give up 5 earned runs today, 4 or 5 earned runs.
Yep.
Like, he hasn't been good at all. And I think that is a major concern if you're the Twins, because their starting pitching is something that they used to, like, rely on. And now, you know, when your ace sucks, like, you can't really rely on that. They got Joe Ryan going tomorrow, who's probably their best starter now, which is good for them. But, you know, their offense was hot for like 12 games, and they've cooled off a lot. And then the Royals definitely have regression coming. Like, trust me, this Royals team is not as good as a 34-20 record, dude. I'm telling you all that right now. Bullpen is pretty mid. The lineup outside of the top 3 is really suspect, and Salvador Perez is having a fucking a resurgence, dude. Like, just he's probably having a career year at this point.
Yep.
And does he sustain that all season? I don't know. Bobby Witt's playing really well right now. The Royals are playing some really good ball. Seth Lugo looks really fucking good. Can they sustain that? That's a huge question mark. But
Yep.
I mean, the Guardians, like, it would take a lot for them to lose. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, they're not getting Gavin Williams and they're not getting fucking Shane Bieber back this year. So there could definitely be, like, the Tigers very well could take control of this fucking division. Like, they could. I know they're 10 games back, but, bro, all it takes is a fucking hot streak. You know what I mean? And the Guardians are definitely they're going to regress to the mean at some point, dude. Like, this shit's not going to continue. It's not. How much so, I don't know, but
Yeah, that's the hard question.
it's definitely going to regress. It's definitely going to regress. All right. Should we get some best bets for tomorrow?
Anything crazy from the MLB week?
I mean, I think the craziest thing to me is the fact that the fucking Royals won 8 games and lost a game on the fucking Guardians, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that to me is the most insane. Like, I'd be so deflated, dude. Like, bro, we just won 8 games in a row and we lost a game on the fucking Guardians because they won 9 in a row.
Yeah.
Like, that is so fucking deflating, dude. So deflating.
Speaking of deflating, my big thing is deflating for the Mets and the Pirates. Losing games where you're up by 4 runs.
Yeah, it sucks.
Pirates 2 straight. Mets 1. Or sorry, no, Mets 2.
It
No.
happens, but
Mets 1. Pirates 2 straight.
it happens. You know, it's unfortunate. The Mets have a lot of issues, though. I think some of those guys are ready to move on, like Francisco Lindor, and
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that the Mets have to make some fucking moves, dude. Like, they gotta, and Francisco Lindor, like, a perfect landing spot for him is the Dodgers. The Dodgers need an infielder fucking bad. If they don't get Bo Bichette, Lindor would be a good pivot. They probably wouldn't have to give up a ton of prospects because he's owed a lot of money. They can just take on the contract and, you know, he would probably flourish there, to be honest.
I'm a little surprised in how bad the American League West has been.
Oh yeah, it's a trash division. Astros are probably gonna win that division.
The last 10.
Although Julio
got-
Rodriguez, he heating up, dude.
Yeah, last 10. Seattle 4-6, Texas 3-7, Houston 6-4, Oakland 3-7, Angels 5-5.
It's a bad
It's rough.
division, man. It is a very bad division, and you know the Mariners could very well be easily running away with this shit, but they can't hit.
Yeah,
and that's a big problem. And the Rangers have been like, they've just they regressed so much from last year, dude. That team is just up 4-2 in the fucking 9th inning on Saturday and lose the game, and they win today. But I mean, they could have taken that series, lose the series. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting how the West goes down. I do think Astros plus 150 right now to win that division, I do think is a good bet. Because the Astros, they have the best run differential in that division. Their starting pitching's been terrible, and they're still fucking hanging around, dude.
Yeah.
And you know they can trade. They're going to trade for somebody. And they haven't even been healthy all year.
Yeah.
They're just starting to get healthy. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's get some best bets for tomorrow, man. What do you got?
So I've got 2 for tomorrow. I think one of them is going to be the same as yours, as you kind of mentioned it earlier. But we'll do the first that's not, and that's going to be Cincinnati moneyline minus 135. I'll probably play them first 5 as well because we got Lodolo on the hill, and the St. Louis Cardinals are horrid against left-handed pitchers. So we're going to go Cincinnati. We'll just go money line minus 135. And then, no, we'll go first 5. I don't know what that line is, obviously, because that line isn't going to come out until tomorrow morning. But we'll go for best bet. We'll go Cincy first 5, and then San Francisco first 5 as well. You've got Snell going up against
Taiwan Walker.
Oh my God,
Taiwan Walker.
Thank you, Walker, who's had some questionable spots this year. So you are going for it for different reasons, but I liked how Snell looked last game, and I think he's only going to be getting better from here.
Nice. I actually have Reds down. I got it at -133 earlier. I would play it to -138. But my biggest factor of playing Reds over Cardinals is the fact that the Cardinals had to play tonight in a rain delay. So they didn't get out of there till like 11 Eastern. They're not going to get into Cincy until like early morning. They got a day game tomorrow. On top of that, their top 3 relievers are not going to be available tomorrow, and JoJo Romero, Andrew Kittredge, and Heasley. So I love the Reds tomorrow. I think that's a great play. I also played under 8 in Minnesota, Kansas City. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. We got Joe Ryan against Alec Marsh. Alec Marsh, his numbers show some regressions coming, but it hasn't. And I think Joe Ryan is the best Minnesota Twins pitcher, so I like that under 8 there. I also like the Giants money line full game -1.02. Teams that come out of Coors Field have not been doing well this year, and the Phillies really struggled at Coors, so I like the Giants money line tomorrow. And then I also like Red Sox money line. I played it +$1.47. It's like +$1.41, +$1.40 now. I would play it to +$1.30. Cole Irvin in no fucking universe should be a -$1.50 favorite. Period. Period. That's the handicap of that one. That dude should not be up. No. Sorry. Can't do it. If you're laying $1.50 with Cole Irvin in the Orioles, you got fucking mental health problems. That's how the book. That's the bet. How the books make money.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll be back on Tuesday night. We'll be breaking down Major League Baseball games for Wednesday's slate. So definitely tune in. We'll be live 9:15, 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Follow us on the Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Taproom_sports. Follow myself at Jordan Rules TSP. We will be back Tuesday. Have a blessed Memorial Day, y'all. Enjoy the barbecues. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Later.